Today we're going to be covering 12 strong summer fragrances that you're guaranteed to love and really get a lot of use out of this season. One thing I love about warm weather summer scents is that you can wear these a lot and you can get a lot of versatility out of them. You can wear them for pretty much any situation, any time in the spring, summer months when it's warm outside. Not to say that there aren't versatile fall and winter scents, because there definitely are, but some of those can pose a little bit more of a challenge. Pretty much all of these are carefree, they're easygoing, they don't take much effort. You throw them on and you just smell great all day long. I'll drop links to these down below to discounters so you can get them at prices below retail. Also, if you're on the hunt for anything rare, discontinued, or hard to find, I am as well, and I'm looking for this stuff on a daily basis. I've got a mailing list you can sign up to at the first link down below, and if you would prefer to get text message alerts, there's a number you can text to opt into that as well. Anything from Dior Eau de Parfum, La Nuit Bleu Electrique, what else? Just today, Bleu Electrique came up, Prada L'Homme Intense below retail, things like that. You want to get those notifications, sign up at either of those or both down below. Let's get it kicked off with Rochas L'Homme, the original. It's got grapefruit. There's a little bit of some other citrus accords in here, some juniper berries, some blood orange is what I was looking for. Blood orange, grapefruit, some pineapple, juniper berries, all of that good stuff. It smells fantastic. Now this one's a little bit more rich, a little bit more classy. It's not as youthful and young overall as some of the other ones we're going to be covering here. So this is kind of one of those options if you do want something to be taken a little bit more seriously while you're wearing something. With all that to say, it's still a versatile one. You can wear this for a lot of different situations when it's warm outside. This one I think would favor some air conditioning or milder summer days. It will sweeten up a little bit in the extreme heat, something to keep in mind, but you can still work this one a lot in the summer. Next up we have Brioni Eau de Parfum. Now this line has exploded and there are a bunch of flankers now, and they're all really good. This is the original though, and the original does start out as an EDP. In fact, they're all EDPs, so I think that's pretty cool. This one's got violet, ozonic notes, and cedarwood. It's airy, it's light, it's refreshing. A little bit of an ambroxan tinge in there. The violet leaves is what makes this one stand out. And that note in particular is something that you can't miss. I mean, any fragrance that uses it, you can pick up on it, and it a lot of times is at the forefront, especially it is here. And it really does give it that kind of ozonic, refreshing, airy, kind of blue, violet type of smell. It really is something special, but it does have an uplifting kind of breath of fresh air feeling about it, and it smells great, especially here in this one. This is one that you can usually get around $65 or so. I've seen it even lower than that sometimes, although it does sell out pretty quick. But it's one that you can get kind of in that mid-range price point, somewhere around in there. Really is a great deal. Nice presentation, magnetic cap, great one for the warm months. Next up we have Mancera Sicily. Now this is a niche product that you can usually get for sub $100. With most Manceras that is the case. This one has a ton of fruits and citruses. So many that I don't even think I can name them all off. Everything from like a pear to an orange to some bergamot, citruses, grapefruit, and I think some apple. There's probably some blackcurrant in here. Lots of fruits, lots of citruses. It's a little bit sweeter. Some might even branch out and say it's feminine. I have no problem wearing this one, personally. I just think it smells legitimately like fruits and citruses. It really does. However, my fiance also does like to wear this one as well. And so I think it can just go in either direction anyway, no matter who you are, what you are. If you like how it smells, you can probably pull it off. And another thing is a lot of the Mancera offerings are kind of heavier and sweeter. Not all of them. They're coming out with new releases all the time, and they've got a lot of fresh ones too. There's wild fruits, another great option, but this is one of those ones where it's basically all bright freshness. Nothing that's going to be oud or heavy or sweet about this, and that's a really nice one to have in the collection. Let's keep it rolling with Bentley for Men's Silver Lake. The way I describe this one is it kind of has a little bit of Acqua di Gio Essenza going on. Do you remember that stuff? Came out years ago, right as I was getting into the fragrance game, going on 6 years ago, it got discontinued. So I got there in the nick of time. I was able to get myself a bottle before the prices went way up. Thank God, although I wish at the time I was able to buy backups. Didn't have the money for that, so I only have my one original bottle still, and it's not full, it's almost empty. That sucks. It's not a big deal. There's a ton of other flankers. Is it worth going out and spending money and hunting that one down? No, I don't think so. You have better use for your money, most likely, although I'm not going to tell you whether that's the case or not. You make the decision, but I do think if you go for something like Bentley for Men Silver Lake, or even just any other Acqua di Gio flanker, you would be just as fine. This one has a little bit of that aromatic feel that the Essenza had, which did focus heavily on the aromatics, but this also still has some Profondo going on, even some original Acqua di Gio. It just kind of is a interpretation of that general DNA at about half the price. Yeah, when this one's in stock, 40, 50 bucks, somewhere around in there. Great pickup for summertime. Invictus Legend by Paco Rabanne is another fantastic one in the heat. Now this one is going to be probably geared towards the younger crowd. It's got sea salt, bay leaf, ambroxan or ambergris, maybe what they call it. Grapefruit, if I didn't say that already. It's the Invictus DNA, but more sea salty, a little bit more aquatic, and a different type of sweetness compared to the original. So the original is one you could wear in the summertime, and let's face it, people who are buying the original Invictus are wearing it all year round for every single situation possible. These boxes and bottles don't come with instructions, so for people who don't really subscribe to the fragrance category, they don't know what is what. They wear it for everything. You can do it, it's not a big deal. This one, though, would be better suited for this time of year, and so it would be the option to go with. They got rid of Invictus Aqua. Don't really have too many other summer ones left. A lot of the new ones they're putting out are going in the opposite direction, favoring towards fall and winter. This is one you can still get that will work well in the summer. One of my personal favorites, one that has made it high in my summer lists the past couple years. In fact, spoiler alert, it's made it #1. Yeah, Rasasi Hawas. It's got plum, watery notes, bergamot, ambroxan, some lavender, other aromatics in here as well. All-time favorite summer scent, at least one of them, designer-wise. It's a clone brand, but designer priced-wise, one of my all-time favorites. And the reason why is because it's the Invictus Aqua DNA. If you look back on my channel, Invictus Aqua 2016 at one point was one of my favorite summer designer scents. They discontinued that. They discontinued 2018. Can't really get them anymore. They pop up sporadically. The 2018 version, that is. We're inventing new words here, sporadically. But come to find out all along, this one came out in 2015. Now, who knows how close it really was and what happened there, but on paper, this one was first. So, and it's one you could still buy for $45, 100 mil on discounters. This makes it to where it's not worth going out and hunting down the 2016 or even the 2018. If you can get a good buy on them, that's fine, but at half the price, just go for the Rasasi if it's available to you and you want a playful summertime scent with great performance. Another one that's affordable, that has great performance, actually at about the same exact price, Dylan Blue by Versace. Yeah, 45 bucks, 100 mil. You can spend, I think it's only an extra 20 bucks and double the bottle size, which if you're going to be wearing it a lot is the great way to go. Maybe extra 25 bucks. I can't remember for sure what the 200s are going for, but if you're going to be wearing it, you might as well just pay that up front because you're saving about half the cost by doing that if you were to rebuy it. How many of you will really go through a 100 ml bottle? I don't know, but something to think about. Now this is a blue scent, but with a sweet tone. So a lot of incense, a lot of patchouli in here, smokiness. Smells great. Again, though, very sweet, much sweeter than your Sauvage Bleu de Chanel variants. So I think this one is really suitable for summer date nights, especially, and just summer evenings in general, going out. But you can still wear it during the day if you want. One of my favorite affordable ones for summertime, Hugo Boss Reversed. It's got grapefruit, there's some vetiver in here, some rosemary, a little bit of ambroxan, even though it's not officially listed. I kind of pick up on it, a little bit of a bright sparkle off the rip there with that grapefruit. The way I've always described this one is it's kind of in the same ballpark-ish as Elysium, and what makes it smell similar is the type of vetiver they're using. The vetiver in Elysium is very distinct, and most fragrances out there that kind of smell like or smell similar to Elysium, or maybe some straight up clones, One thing they have in common, they're all using the same type of vetiver in particular. And that's kind of what makes them separate or more similar or not. And so that's kind of what this one has. It's got the grapefruit as well. It's got the aromatics. It just kind of, this one definitely isn't a clone, but kind of in a similar ballpark. It's kind of how I describe it. There are clones of Elysium. You could go with like Fragrance World Imperium. That will get you very close. But this one's more of just kind of touching on that DNA with its own twist. This is, I think, $35 to $40. It's a 125 ml bottle, and it's great for the super high heat. Very refreshing. One of my fiance's favorites as well. I've had this stuff for quite a while. Go with the new release, Guerlain L'Homme Ideal Platine Prive. So this is kind of bringing back the Ideal Cologne / Ideal Cool fragrances, which both are discontinued and very hard to find, unfortunately. Although doesn't so much matter anymore because for a limited time, yes, unfortunately, this is marketed as a limited edition, we can get this one. This one has almond, grapefruit, bergamot, and neroli. So it's not having the mint that Cool had, but it is very much following in the footsteps of the Cologne version, which I really love. And this makes it not worth going down and hunting the others. You don't need to get them if you can get this. And once this one is gone, then it's going to be kind of get whichever one of the three that you can get. But for right now, when you can buy this at retail, this is the way to go. And sometimes it will pop up on discounters like Fragrance By. And when that does happen, I do send out an email and a text. It's got that creamy almond, but introduces a lot of citrus. It smells so good. Oh man, this DNA is great. Another one that's very classy. It's not your typical very playful summertime scent. There's something rich and luxurious and fancy about this one. Great stuff. Another newer release, actually, we have Y Eau de Parfum Intense by YSL. And so what I like is they are basically taking out the sweet apple entirely, and they are pumping up the aromatics tenfold. So you do get that sage, the lavender, the amber wood in here, all of that going on. One of the main things that I think a lot of people didn't so much enjoy about the Eau de Parfum and the Le Parfum is the apple accord is very sweet, and therefore it kind of gives it, again, a playful, more young smelling smell overall, kind of isolating it to just a certain group of people. You know, this I think kind of branches out, and it's something where if you do want a little bit more of a mature take on that DNA, this is going to be about your only option within that line that will provide that for you. And because it loses some of that sweetness and bumps up the aromatics, it also makes it a little bit more enjoyable in the summer heat because it doesn't get too cloying like some of the others. Personally, I've worn Y Eau de Parfum in the summer often, and yes, it does sweeten up. I don't so much mind it. Some people do. This is an option for you that will solve that. Let's move on to Gucci Guilty Pour Homme Parfum version. Came out, I think it was either last year or the year before. It's got lemon, juniper, orange blossom. Very cool texture to this one. Now this one's a little bit on the sweeter side. However, it's not sweet from like a tonka bean or vanilla or something like that. I don't want you to get the wrong idea. It's sweeter from the type of aromatic juniper and fruits that they're using. So it's a different style. And because of that, I think it's great for a summer morning, a summer evening, climate controlled summer indoors. You know, just when it's not too crazy in one extreme or the other, hot or cold, just mild, comfortable, regular temperature. I think that's what this one is suited for. Not to say that you couldn't get stuck outside in the heat and not completely hate it. You would probably be fine. But, you know, I think if you're going somewhere and you're going to be inside or it's a summer evening, this is one you can pull off. And there's a kind of a mysterious, unique, interesting take about this one that a lot of the others in this list don't quite have. Kind of similar to Dylan Blue, where it just has a little bit of that kind of sweet smell that kind of makes it interesting and makes you want to find out more. That's what this one has. I really like it. And it's a parfum, has great performance. We'll finish this one off with a $20 clone. Armaf Hunter Intense. This is the new Eau de Parfum. Yeah, weird. They're introducing them as EDP now. You can see it on the text there. They were EDTs and they just changed it over. And I don't even really think they told anyone about it. They just started getting listed as Eau de Parfum. I think FragranceNet was one of the first ones to do it. So I was curious. I thought maybe it was a mislisting, so I bought one, and sure enough, it came back as an EDP. So I'm not complaining, especially for the same price. So what is this a clone of? I've always described it as a hybrid. It's got a little bit of Invictus Aqua, Rasasi Hawas. It's got a little bit of Sauvage, a little bit of Dylan Blue, a little bit of Aqua Atlantique. Kind of has a little bit of everything there. The blue scents, some aquatic, some not. It's peppery, ambroxan heavy. This is kind of basically a recipe for mass appeal and compliments at a dirt cheap price. So it's not going to be for everybody. And sure, it might feel redundant when you have some of the others that this one smells similar to, a few of which are in the video that I listed off. But when you look at the price, think about if you had to buy Sauvage, Dylan Blue, Aqua Atlantique, and Invictus Aqua all at once. Two of those are hard to get. They would be expensive. The other two are just expensive on their own. One of them is. Dylan Blue is about the only affordable one. And or I guess you could substitute the Rasasi for Invictus Aqua. You get what I'm saying. It would cost you a lot more than $20. So even if you have those, you could pick this one up. It could be something you throw in your gym bag, throw in your vehicle, and not worry about it getting ruined inevitably from sitting out in the heat. You can just have it, and then you've got a spare. You've got something you can lean on in the event that you need a bottle. Or you can just use it when you know you're going to go swimming. It's going to get washed off, but you don't want to go leave the house without wearing something. A lot of uses for these clones and cheap scents that you might not think of, but it is an option. Alrighty guys, that's going to do it for me. 12 strong summertime scents that you are guaranteed to love. These will work great this time of year. Make sure you pick some of these up, spray them on, enjoy them, wear them. They're great scents, and they all also get great compliments. Links will be down below, and again, deals will be going out to my mailing list and texting list. Get on one or both of those. The text is going to be the surefire way that you get a notification straight to the home screen on your phone. Email, maybe you have notifications up, or maybe you don't and you just check it often, but the text is really if you want to get those notifications right off the bat. Stuff does sell out quick, but I mean, things come in stock so often, more than you might think, that as soon as you get on those lists, you'll be able to pick up some amazing stuff. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.